All right, so last week we talked about price and why that's probably the reason why your home isn't selling. There's of course other reasons, and this week we're gonna talk about another big one, so stick around. All right, so while I firmly believe that price is probably why that house isn't selling, there's other reasons as well, and today we're gonna talk about the pictures. Now, pictures range from extremely amateur, just kind of bad cell phone, pictures of messy rooms with like people in them on one side, and then in the middle there's kind of the nice pictures that do a decent job of representing what the property actually looks like. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where you've got just kind of what I call the live photos. These are the photos that are overly HDR'd with super wide angles and might actually just be a picture of a completely different property. Now, I think it's pretty obvious you want to avoid the super amateur ones. And I see why some people are drawn to the live photos. They think that that might actually draw a larger crowd into the home. But I think what the live photos are actually doing is setting expectations extremely high for your property so that when people get there, they're just kind of let down. One of my favorite sayings in business is under promise and over deliver. I'm not 100% sure that applies to photos, but I definitely think it applies at least a little bit. So if your photos make this property just look awesome, and it's not an awesome property, when people get there, they're gonna realize it's not an awesome property. So instead of setting some reasonable expectations so that when they got there, they might be impressed with a few aspects, I really think you're just setting yourself up for failure by having people show up thinking this place is just amazing, only to find out that it's really a letdown everywhere. So since I'm not a total expert on photos and I'm certainly not a photographer, I'm not gonna teach you how to take the right photos. I'm just gonna kind of poke fun at the ones that we know are not the right photos. And we're gonna start with this one. We're gonna use my office as kind of inspiration. Here's a picture of my office that's on that side of the spectrum. It's super amateur, it's messy, there's a guy in there. Like the entire thing is just screaming, bad photo of the office. This isn't selling anyone. Now here's the exact same office taken on the other end of the spectrum, the live photo. You can see here, this isn't the same office, and when you get to see the office in person, it's not gonna look this awesome. Look how big it is, look how much sunlight there is. This is an awesome office, but this is not the office we're selling. All right, the third category of bad photos I haven't even mentioned yet, and it's this one right here. The missing photo. This missing photo says more about the property or that particular room than any photo possibly could. It says that this room is so horrible or this house is so horrible, we can't even photograph it. Now, we saw plenty of these in our home search. You'd pull up the MLS and you'd see there's a gorgeous picture of the outside and then one picture of the pool, and that's it. What this instantly told us was that the interior of this home was going to be atrocious. It means that every room inside of this home is going to be horrible. It means that there wasn't a single positive aspect inside this home for them to take a photograph of to attempt to sell it. I'm not a fan of that. If your house isn't in great shape, adjust your price, put the pictures in there, and attract the right crowd. Otherwise, all you're really going to do is end up getting showings from people that hate the home. That's not going to help anybody. All right, that was a pretty straightforward approach on what not to do. I will say that we saw tons of nice properties that just had great realistic photos that really represented what the house was like when we got there. There's also some awesome stuff out there. There's this new system that actually does like a walkthrough virtual thing of the entire home. That's amazing. Some of the aerial photography stuff looks kind of cool. Some of it, not so much. So there's so many cool things out there. Stay away from the live photos and obviously spend more time on them than the super amateur ones. Get those perfect photos in there and you're probably going to be able to sell that home a whole lot easier. But remember, it's not priced right. It's probably not going to move. All right, so I hope you're enjoying the videos. If you are, please click on the like button. If you know of anybody that could benefit from this information, maybe they've got some horrible photos of one of their listings up, share it on over with them. And if you want to make sure you get our videos every single week, please click on the subscribe. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.